Racing. You wanted the best, you got them four abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Good afternoon and welcome to Volusia Speedway Park for week number 5 of the NMRA Super Late Model Series, and we will see some great racing action as you'll see 2 and 3 wide action all around this raceway. These cars are able to get around this track in around 15-16 seconds, so these things have some major horsepower. I'm your host tonight, Ryan Griffith, and we will call all of your racing action for the first time with the NMRA series, and we will be with you for the remainder of the season. Majoni Speed Shop, one of NMRA's sponsorships, Mafia as well. Just gotta thank those guys as being sponsors for this series. Last week, we seen Desmond Bosby getting the victory. Bosby's been pretty fast in this season, and we imagine that speed will carry over into tonight, as we'll see who we are getting in that victory lane later on tonight. We'll have heat racing action here in just a few moments. All right, your first heat race of the night, and starting on the pole in that 07 machine, that's Thomas Vickers. Starting second in the 46 machine, that's Matthew Shelby. Starting third in the number 35, that's Tyler Burrow. Starting fourth in the 82 machine, that's Desmond Busby. Keep an eye on that guy. Starting in that fifth position in the number 10, that's Talon Norco. Starting 6th in the number 7, that's Bob Clean. Starting 7th in the 109, that's James Braswell Jr. Starting 8th in the number 29, that's James Clausen. Starting 9th in the 104, that's James Salter. Starting 10th in the 09, that's Tanner. Starting 11th, the number 2, that's Chance Carr. Starting 12th, in the 88 machine, Jason Moore. You got 12 cars in this first heat race of the night, as we are getting you set to go green flag here out of turns number 4. 10 laps is going to be the distance. And the green flag is waving in your first heat race of the night. And already we're looking for 3 wide for the lead. One car washes up. That 109 Mafia racing machine takes your early race command, sliding it right through the middle. Now your race is for that third position. Chance has got that position over. Cars into the wall in the back. We stay green as of now. James Salter has that fourth position. Chance Carr in that third position, now starting to reel in that 74 machine on the bottom side of the raceway. Desmond Busby back here in the back in 6th position right now. He's trying to make headway in this race. Not able to do it right now, working the top side. Now he's looking for a slider underneath. He'll take that position away, move Desmond up into the 5th position. Back up front, James Braswell Jr. has led it from the drop of the green flag when he put it 3 wide there on that first turn and took the lead away. And he is currently out there in the lead, but is not the fastest guy out here. The fastest guy on the Speedway right now, Desmond Busby. He's got some work to do if he's going to get up there inside that top 3, as we've got 5 trips around the Speedway left, as he now battles on with Jason Salter. Salter on the top side, Busby on the bottom. That's the race for that 4th position. Back up front, you got Braswell, but he's got some pressure by Loki. Loki is there, and he is looking for the race lead with 4 laps, now 3 laps to go in your first heat race of the night. Here comes the slider. He'll push him up. They'll come side by side on the exit of 2. Side by side drag race into 3. They're still side by side. They'll touch wheels just a little bit. 2 laps remaining. 2 fingers are in the air from the flag stand. We got 2 trips for your first heat race of the night. Looks like Braswell is going to recapture that race lead and try to hold on for this win, as Loki will be in that 2nd position. Chance Carr in that 3rd position. White flag is out. Desmond has that 4th position, but a hard charge battle with Jason Salter. Here we are out of turns number 3 and 4. James Braswell Jr. will take the win. Loki will be in 2nd, Chance Carr in 3rd, and Desmond Busby in 4th, and James Salter will come home 5th. Second heat race is ready and lined up, and starting on the pole in this one, we are set to go green flag racing here out of 3 and 4. iRacing pace truck lights are out. We've got Underwood and Marlowe on that front row, George and Burrow in that 2nd row, Clausen and Selby in the 3rd row, 4th row, Payne and Moore, and Green and Clean will round out the starting grid here in your 2nd heat race of the night. Underwood will take the lead out of turns number 2. Marlowe will be in that 2nd position. And then Burrow in a hard race. And Clausen goes up into the wall there. As Clausen will drop to the back here. As cars are in the wall. That was the 88 machine. Bob Clean getting a little bit of damage there as well. As we're under caution here in your 2nd heat race of the night. '46 machine is your race leader so far in this, as we are under caution early in on this race. 46 machine of Ryan Underwood. Ryan Underwood being one of the top iRating scores in this heat race, carrying almost a 6,800 iRating in that late model. looking for a heat race win here in heat race number 2. Matthew Shelby, we've seen him run very, very well at I-55, and he's looking for a repeat again tonight here at Volusia Speedway. He would like to pick up a win in the feature. As we do have the lights out on the iRacing pace car, we are ready to go. Green flag and let them loose again in your second heat race of the night, with Marlowe and Underwood still in the front row, Burrow and Selby in the second row, Payne and Clean in that third row now. Underwood looking for the green, he's looking, and we are green flag once again in heat race number 2. Tyler Burrow gets a good bite down on the bottom side of the raceway, and he'll go side by side for that second position underneath Marlowe. Burrow in that 35 machine. They're still side by side in the inner of 1 and 2. Looks like Burrow will take that position away. And now Selby now looking underneath the 47 machine, and there just was not enough room there as 3 cars get collected in that. And once again, the yellow flag will raise in your B main action. Still Underwood is your race leader out front. And he was your fastest guy out on the speedway the last time by. Folks, if you're over on the YouTube channel or even over on Facebook, make sure that you've hit the like or subscribe button for us. We greatly appreciate that. Hopefully you can carry on with us all season long with an NMRA series, as we hope to carry your season next season as well. As right now we are primarily the home of Miller Time Motorsports. We're thankful for NMRA for bringing us on board for your final races of the season, as we're about to let them loose once again. The lights are out on the iRacing pace truck. That 46 machine has led from the drop of the green flag, but Burrow has been there, and he has climbed up into that second position, is looking for the race lead here to set himself up for tonight's 50-lap A main event around Volusia Speedway. Green flag is looking. He's looking for that green flag here out of turns number 4, and he's on the throttle hard. Green flag once again in your second heat race of the night. Ryan Underwood down the backstretch. Looks like he has got that thing hooked up here in your second heat race. Burrow may have a little company behind him by the way of Matthew Selby. Selby, the 46 machine, has already picked up a win this season at I-55. See, he picked up a little bit of damage in that contact in that previous caution, but he is on the move right now. He is currently second fastest out there on the speedway. And still, Ryan Underwood is your race leader and the fastest guy out here right now. As you can see, they got about a 2-second gap on that second place, as we've got 3 laps to go around Volusia. Back in here, Ryan Green, I should say, and Bob Clean. Bob Clean has made it up into that 4th position. Battling on the outside there is James Clausen. This battle is for the 4th and 5th position, as Bob Clean started deep in this heat race and he's moved up in through the pack. White flag is out. Going down the backstretch, half a lap left for that 46 machine to pick up heat race number 2. Coming out of turns number 4, Ryan Underwood will take the win. Tyler Burrow in 2nd, Matthew Shelby in 3rd, Bob Clean in 4th, and at the line, James Braswell will get that 5th position in heat race number 2. When we come back, we will be ready for your A main event.
Each year, legends battle for greatness. All strive to be better than the ones before them. But only one will be victorious. The 61st NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals, presented by Casey's. August 10th through August 13th, only at Knoxville Raceway. Get your tickets now at knoxvilleRaceway.com.
Hello, race fans. I'm Ozzie Altman, joining you at what has to be, without a doubt, the most highly anticipated dirt racing event in the history of motorsports. Now, Eldora Speedway, located in the northern central side of Ohio, right near the Indiana border, is no stranger to big money events. But this night, something special happens. 100 laps on the hallowed half mile. The winner picks up $1 million. Can he do it? Johnny Moran, you're a millionaire at Eldora Speedway. What would you do to win the Eldora Million?
Welcome back. We are getting you set for your A main event here with the Super Late Model Series of NMRA. Time for your 50-lap A main event in the NMRA here at Volusia Speedway Park. So we are getting you set to go 50 big ones tonight. You can see that front row. Ryan Underwood, after he just won that heat race, he's on your front row on the outside of James Braswell Jr. That second row of Low-Key and Tyler Burrow. Chance Carr and Shell Selby will be in that fourth row. Fifth row, Desmond Busby and Bob Clean. James Clausen and Salter will be in the next row. Green and Hunter on back in there. Payne and Tomasi, Vickers and Moore, Marlowe, Norco, Wooden, and Matt George as we get you set to go 50 laps around Volusia Speedway with Braswell Jr. on the pole. Is he going to be able to hold on to the race lead for all this race? He looked really strong in his heat race, as did Ryan Underwood. Both of them ran a really good race. You've seen James Braswell Jr. in that 109. We've seen him in other leagues, and here he is on the front row. You seen Tyler Burrow. He was really strong also and did have some pressure on some of those guys in that heat race. Chance Carr, can't put him out. He's in that third row. As we got 50 laps to decide it, and green flag is waving out on the speedway. Braswell Jr. will take command out of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Low-Key takes the second position away for momentarily. He's underneath of Ryan Underwood. They'll battle on for that second position early in on this race. Chance Carr moves to the top side of the raceway after starting at the bottom side. He'll try to get that top side working. Here comes Desmond Busby to the inside, as they thought to go 3 wide there. It's caution flag waves out on the speedway for the first time tonight. You can see Braswell has a little bit of issues back there on the back side of his wing. Spoiler bent up just a little bit in the 82 machine. Matthew Selby, the 46 machine. He's looking for a win tonight after he took his last win at I-55. Bob Clean in the 7 machine. He is in that 7th position right now. As we're 4 laps into a 50-lap event tonight. It's a long one. This track will start to widen out. The track will start to get a little more slick. And when it does, we'll probably see a lot more action up front, as James Braswell Jr. is your current leader right now. You look on board with Chance Carr there, sitting in that 3rd position, as he's came up from that third row on the start here with just 5 laps in the books here. As he'll start on the inside here, right behind Braswell Jr., setting him up really good here for this restart. Lights are still on the iRacing pace truck. We're getting things straightened out for you, and then we'll let them loose once again to try to get this 50 laps in the books. Benier is on that outside, row number 1 with Braswell Jr. now. You look at Tyler Burrow. He's going to be on the outside starting here on this restart. Have to keep our eyes on Chase Carr, as he's been the biggest mover so far in this race. He is looking for a win on the season in that 2 machine, and he is right there behind Braswell Jr. Tomasi back there in that 12th position. Tanner Tomasi, he's trying to work through this heavy field. As you've seen, 3 and 4 wide racing back there, back in the pack. It's not exactly ideal where you want to be in this race. As you can see, the back of Bob Clean's car also a little damage back there. Will that hinder him a little bit in this race? You can see that rear quarter panel back there smashed in just a little bit. Here we go. We're going to get restarted here in your A main, and we got 10 laps into the books. Green flag is waving in the air. We are back green flag racing. As you look from the rear of your race leader, Braswell Jr. And here comes Chance Carr on the inside. He's looking for the race lead away from Braswell. Braswell's running middle track right now and then washing it up to the top. As you see, Chance Carr works the inside of this raceway right down along the bottom side. He's getting all that grip right down there along the tires. And man, it is close corridors coming out of turns number 4 with those tires that enter into the pits. He is making it work down there on the bottom side of the raceway. Last time by, he was faster than your race leader. Once again, we have caution flag that has waved out onto the speedway. Chance Carr is on the move there in that number 2 machine. You can move James Clausen up into the 3rd position after he was able to get around Tyler Burrow. Tyler Burrow losing his spot from Clausen. Clausen able to get around. And then you got Desmond Busby. He is right there now. He has climbed up inside the top 5. Bob Clean, he's moved up into this race in that 7 machine. Of course, we said that he's got a little damage, as well does Busby. Several of these cars back here in the back has some kind of damage on their car in the backside. So is that damage going to hinder them to win this race tonight? Still, the big man to watch is that 2 machine, as he's came from that 3rd row on the beginning of the start of this race, and now he is going to be on that front row outside of Braswell. Where lights are out on the iRacing pace truck. We're ready to go green flag racing once again. See if we can get some green flag runs underway here. Several of these guys up on the wheel, ready to go. We're looking for green flags here out of turns number 4. Braswell and Carr. Green flag is in the air. Braswell gets a good start. Carr as well. Braswell goes to the bottom side. Chance goes to the top side. We've seen Chance go to the top side early in this race. Now you got James Clausen down on the bottom side of the raceway. He's running what Chance Carr was doing earlier. Good 3 and 4 car battle on back here in the pack. You got Bob Clean that was back there going 3 wide, and then we have another caution flag out on the Speedway once again. Bob Clean was 3 wide action back there in that 7 machine. Tyler Burrow still in that 4th position, and James Clausen, that 29 machine, he's been coming on here as of late in this race. Desmond Busby, you got to look at him back here racing. I mean, he's inside the top 5 right now. He's in that 5th position, and he is currently your points leader in this series in the NMRA. And he has won 3 of the 5 races. So you look at him, he's probably one of those guys that's a hard hitter tonight, and a good chance that he has to win here, as he's won 3 of the 5 races in this series. Currently he's sitting in 5th, and he does find a little bit of damage on that car. So what does that 82 machine have for these guys in front of him? Still a lot of racing left in this to find out. You also look at Ryan Underwood. Ryan Underwood, he is currently setting 2nd in points. And currently he's in some trouble right now in that 46 machine. As you've seen him starting up front, he's had some issues in this race early on, and he's back here in 16th position. That's going to hinder a little bit in the point standings. James Braswell Jr. sitting in 3rd in the points, currently leading this race. We are back underway. Green flag as a single file restart to try to get some green flag runs. Braswell washes up in the middle of the track. Chance Carr goes back to the bottom side of the raceway, as does James Clausen. James Clausen goes maybe a little bit higher than Carr, as they run nose to tail down along the bottom side of the raceway. Braswell Jr. still your race leader, but you look at Carr, and Carr is faster than your race leader by just a few tenths of a second. Tyler Burrow back here, he's running in that 4th position, and we talked about Desmond Busby in that top 5, but he's got a swarm of cars around him as well. And now he looks to the inside of Burrow. Side-by-side racing action there. On back up here, we got a battle for 2nd, as James Clausen is side-by-side with Chase Carr as they come across the stripe 10 laps down of a 50-lap race. Carr works the outside. Clausen works the bottom side. Which side will prevail? As now you see Carr works the top side. That top side starting to come back in. Early in, we've seen that bottom side really working to the favor of Carr. And now you see Carr works to the top side of the raceway, while Braswell Jr. kind of runs away with it as these guys race side by side back there. He runs just above the tacky on the bottom, then washes her back up almost like a slider line in both turns. And Braswell Jr. is doing what he needs to do to stay out front right now. On back in here, Thomas Vickers. He's trying to put some pressure on the back bumper of Desmond Busby. Not able to do it yet. Bob Clean still in that 7th, 8th position. He's hovered right around there and hasn't done much more. Ryan Underwood is coming back through the pack. He's up top. He's running 13th after restarting 16th on that restart. Yet to see if that 46 machine's able to come back up through the field. Back up front, still got Broswell Jr. leading this. Chance Carr in that second position. Last time by that trip, Carr was a ton faster than your race leader, and you can see that he closed the gap in just a little bit. We ride on board with Chase Carr as he tries to run down that leader of Broswell. You see that car just hooking up when it hits that tacky surface right there. That car just leans to the right. Got James Braswell that's running the bottom side. He's still pressuring Carr for that second position, but seems like that bottom may be starting to go away temporarily. We may see that come back into play later in this race. Thomas Vickers has taken over that fifth position as Desmond Busby has dropped back into the seventh position. Some of that damage on that car may be hindering him just a little bit. Tomasi is up into that sixth position. So Tomasi putting on a good race after starting deep in this field. 19 laps down of a 50-lap race. Braswell Jr. still has raced up front for the entirety of this, has not seen lap traffic, has not seen cars around him. As you can see, Carr is still matching pace with him, and it seems like James Clausen is starting to lose gain as Thomas Vickers, Tomasi, these guys battle one, and it's three wide battling side by side out of turns number 4. Vickers has the position right now in that one machine. Burrow squeaks his way in there just in front of Busby. Tomasi goes back a little bit. Busby takes the position over. Bob Clean looking to the inside now of Busby. Not able to make that pass right now. This race up front is really starting to heat up as Braswell Jr. has the lead, but you can see Chance Carr has got to the back bumper of him and is now pressuring with 23 laps down of a 50-lap race. That 2 machine is on the move. Definitely keep your eye on that number 2 machine as he tries to work his way around James Braswell. Thomas Vickers in that 4th position now is going to try to run down Clausen. Clausen's running 3rd and now has moved his line. Instead of running the very, very bottom, he's changed his line. Back up front again, he's right there to the back bumper. Carr is looking for the race lead. Trying to figure out what is the best way to pass and set up Braswell. As here he goes to the inside. He's going to try to set up the bottom here on the inside. Side by side on the exit of 2. He's got her hooked up down there on the bottom. Give that 2 machine the lead. A really, really close slide job right there. He'll take the position over. Crossover by Braswell. They'll race side by side down into turns 1. Braswell will return the favor and slide up just in the inside. He won't quite go all the way up as that opens up the door for the 2 machine. Now Braswell crosses back up on the number 2. That 2 machine of Carr back underneath for the race lead. Bring Chase Carr to the lead, and he looks like he's got it, and he's going to maintain it out of turns number 2. Carr in that 1st position, looking for his win tonight in his 50 lap as we come to the cross flags halfway through tonight's event. Now we're going to start to see lap traffic as Carr sees one car right in front of him, that 23 machine. See if Carr is able to get underneath him. That car goes to the top side. Carr's going to have to get off the gas just a little bit. It opens up the door for Braswell to close the gap back in. Braswell goes to the top side. 23 cars up there as well. Carr just really, really good on the exit of 2, able to stick it down there on the bottom. Really have not seen any other car be able to do that as Braswell finally gets around that lap car. As that lap car is doing everything he can to try to stay on the lead lap. Unfortunately, not able to do it as now James Clausen now passes that lap car in the wall up into the fence. So you can see that. We'll see if caution flag flies out in the speedway for that guy. As now you've seen, Broswell tried to do the exact same thing as what Carr is able to do out of turns 2, but it does look like Carr is a little bit better at doing that. You can see he just sticks the bottom right down there along the wall and hits all of that tacky that's still down there. A lot of grip down along that bottom side of the raceway. 19 laps to go for Carr. Thomas Vickers back here, he's got a battle with Tomasi. Tomasi to the inside. That's a battle for that 4th position. Now you can start to see here, Clausen has now climbed his way into that 3rd position and is now eating away from that gap from Broswell. Clausen is faster than Broswell. Will he be able to get there with 17 laps to go to steal that 2nd position and put himself in striking distance of the race lead? You can see now Carr, again, coming into lap traffic, will have to navigate around that. They've been green flag since the drop of the 2nd caution flag that fell on lap 5, and we've been green flagged since then. Cars at the inside of lap traffic here. He'll try to clear him out of turns number 2 as we've got 15 laps to go. Clausen has now got to the back bumper of Broswell. Tomasi was not able to get around Vickers. Vickers takes the position and holds on to it. Ryan Underwood, we talked about it. He restarted 16th on that restart. On lap number 5, he's clawed his way into the 7th position and is now looking at Austin Hunter for another position to move himself into that 6th position. So a good rebound for that 46 machine, as we've seen good things out of him all season long. Seen some good things in I-55 as well. Bob Clean not able to do anything back here. He's kind of hovered around this 7th, 8th, 9th place. Darrell Payne now going to look under Bob Clean for that position. Tyler Burrow, which started up front, has fell off the pace of that 35 machine. He's back here in 11th position. On back up here, Braswell and Clausen is going to battle on for that 2nd position. You can see Clausen is there. He's just got to find a way once again around Broswell. And Chase Carr is kind of out here in his own, just running his own little race out here. He is the fastest guy out on the Speedway by quite a bit, and is looking to pick up a win here at Volusia Speedway in that 2 machine. That 2 machine was starting in that 3rd row inside, was able to take the lead away from Broswell by halfway through this race. Now you can see Clausen is pressuring the 109 machine of Broswell Jr. Broswell Jr. starting on the pole of this thing is looking to potentially lose another position to that number 29 guy. Less than 10 laps to go as they come across the line. We've got 8 laps to go in this race. Chance Carr is currently your leader. You see, you got another lap car that's running the top side of the raceway. He's going to have to keep an eye on him. Real battle is for that 2nd position here, for that runner-up position. Broswell Jr., is he going to be able to hold James Clausen off, as James Clausen seems to be quite a bit faster than Broswell. Thomas Vickers is now under hot pressure by Tomasi once again. Tomasi putting another charge together to try to get under, as Ryan Underwood has taken over Austin Hunter. And Ryan Underwood into that 6th position is now looking for 2 cars right in front of him. And that would put him into that 4th position if he can get around both of these guys. These guys battle side by side together, Vickers and Tomasi. We've seen that early in. Another side by side racing for that 2nd position with Braswell and Clausen there out of turns number 2. 5 laps remaining for Chase Carr. We're still looking at Ryan Underwood as they're side by side down the front stretch in contact. It was 3 wide there, and we see it once again as that hard work of Ryan Underwood. Ryan Underwood, unfortunate there, running up through the field and then gets turned sideways there on the front stretch. It was 3 wide, just not enough room there. Just did not give each other enough room there on the front stretch. It's a tough break for that 46 machine. Third caution of the night tonight. You see the 10 cars stop there on the top side of the racetrack. Talon, Norco. Still your race leader, Chance Carr. Cars led it since about the midway part of this race. As when we get restarted, we'll have about 5 laps to go in this. It does not look like, by looking at the times, anyone has anything for that 2 machine. It looks like the battle is going to be for that second position with Braswell and Clausen. Tomasi and Vickers back there was battling on for 4th and 5th position. As it does look like Vickers is going to put that thing in pit road to try to do some repairs to that. Desmond Busby is scored in the 8th position right now. You got to think he's your points leader. Will that hinder him too much, as he's won 3 of the 5 races, and tonight he's struggling a little bit. He's back here in the 8th position, still inside the top 10. So we'll see what these closing laps is going to deal us out here as the iRacing Pace Truck lights are out. That 2 machine of car will get them back underway. A single file restart. Braswell Jr. trying to hold on for that second position. Clausen is literally clawing his way back into this, and he's trying to get into that second position. Tomasi in that 5th position. As we're getting you set to go green flag once again out of turns number 4. Green flag is waving in the air. Ryan Underwood will be in that 6th position. He got his position back there as green flag is waving, and caution is going to go flying back out on the speedway once again as cars get everywhere in turns number 1 and 2. Ryan Underwood, Austin Hunter, Tomasi, Bob Clean, several guys back there. Just a big old bottleneck there in turns number 1. They know they don't have very many laps to go, and because they know that, they're on the throttle, and they know every position matters on these restarts. You may not get another chance to get around a guy, so they try to stick her 3 wide there in turns number 1 and 2. And was not able to do it, and we are back under caution once again. If you're over there on YouTube, make sure that you've hit the subscribe button for us. We greatly appreciate that. Also, if you're over on Facebook, make sure you like, follow, and share. And you can also find Dirt Eye TV over on TikTok as well. So give Dirt Eye TV a follow. That's who's covering this race, and we greatly appreciate all you guys watching and following the NMRA. We take this series over. Lights are out on the iRacing Pace Truck. We're going to go single file restart once again to try to close this one out. You got Carr, Braswell, Clausen, Tomasi, Underwood, Hunter, Bisbee, Clean, Payne, and Salter, your top 10. Back underway with 3 laps remaining. Will Carr hold on to it? Will Braswell be able to hold on to that second position, as Clausen has been right there? Ryan Underwood right there as well. Will he be able to do anything? As once again, we are back under caution. Guys trying to press the needle with 3 laps to go here. Trying to get every position. 3 laps to go. You never know. You can come from 10th and win it. You don't see it very often, but some of these guys think they can. Chance Carr, still your race leader. Braswell Jr. in 2nd. Clausen in 3rd. Tomasi is in that 4th position. Ryan Underwood in the 5th. Austin Hunter in the 6th. 7th will be Bisbee. 8th is Clean. 9th is Payne. 10th is Salter. 11th is Tyler Burrow. Marlowe will be 13th. Moore will be 15th. 14th will be Moore. 15th was Selby. Green will be 16th. 17th, Vickers. 18th would be Wooden. All right, we're ready to get back underway. Lights are out on the iRacing Pace Truck. Car has your race lead and the command here as we get you set. We'll have 2 to go at the line. Braswell Jr. trying to hold on for that second, and Clausen trying to hold on for that third position. That's your top 3 for podium position. Green flags waving once again. Car's going to stick it to the bottom side of the raceway, as does Braswell and Clausen. All of them go to the bottom side of the raceway. Here comes Braswell to the bottom side to try to take the race lead away from Carr. Not able to do it in turns number 3 and 4. White flag is waving. 1 trip around for Carr. Braswell, and Clausen, your top 3 coming down. Half a lap left for Carr. Carr coming out of turns number 3 and 4. Carr is going to pick up your race win. Braswell Jr. in third. And Clausen will come home in that third position. There's how your finishing order is. Chance Carr gets the win on the night in that number 2 machine, takes it over about halfway into this race, and holds on and wins it tonight in the 50-lap shootout at Volusia Speedway. In that second position, James Braswell Jr., he started on the pole. He got passed by a better car tonight. He comes home in second. That third position, James Clausen made his way through the pack and finishes in third. Fourth was Ryan Underwood. After getting involved in an early accident, he restarts 16th with 5 laps into the race and climbs back into that 4th position. Ryan Underwood, good comeback for him. 5th was Austin Hunter. 6th was Bob Clean. 7th was Tanner Tomasi. 8th was Terrell Payne. 9th was Jason Salter. 10th was Brandon Marlowe. 11th was Desmond Busby, your points leader. Comes home in 11th. 12th was Tyler Burrow. 13th was Jason Moore. 14th was Matt Selby. 15th was Ryan Green. 16th was Michael Wooden. 17th was Thomas Vickers, which we've seen racing very well up there inside the top 5 and had an accident late in this race. Talon Norco will be in that 18th position. '19th was Matt George. 20th, Loki Burner, as he started well upside the top 10 in this race, and he fell back in this one. But it's all Chance Carr getting his victory here at Volusia Speedway in week number 5. Thank you all for tuning in to Dirt ITV. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, also YouTube, and also you can check us out on dirtitv.com. Thank you for watching NMRA.